What is going on, everybody? My name is Boyd and I'm back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Gaia. It's Gold Lion, and thank you so much for the subscription, Shadrian. His partner today in the green color playing as Hades is F2's player. And oh, I remember these guys' name was actually, before we continue anymore, they were Rusty F2. Rusty F2. So, and together they make Rusty F2. Their opponents today in the red color playing as Isis is Dodd Fox. And his partner today in the teal color playing as Odin is EmberSpirit. The map's Marsh. And EmberSpirit is actually a Shelty smurf that he's been playing on. I don't know if he just decided to change his name to Shelty. Everybody knows it's him, and he's told everyone that it's him, so it's not really a smurf, but it's a thing, and happy days. So this is the semi-finals for the 2v2 tournament, a random Civ tournament that was hosted by Shelty, of all people, who's currently in the semi-finals. So that's that. I believe the seeding was all... okay, we'll do a posture check. Okay, I believe the seeding was all correct. Like, not correct. It was all random, so anybody could be anywhere on any side of the bracket. And then on top of that, the random Civ. The random Civ element really changes the dynamic of these games, and it kind of levels the playing field a little bit, because if you get a god like Gaia here and you were playing against someone who's not as good as you but gets, like, say, a Loki, it's going to be a tough one for you to overcome, even if you're better than them. So that's a thing. And then the players have to work out how they're going to play around the team, the gods they get. So we do have Isis and we do have Odin here. So a really strong strategy to combine with Odin and Isis would be to do a aggressive rush with Odin with Heimdall, and then Isis does a fast heroic, and then you Ancestors Eclipse and attack this with Heimdall at about 8 minutes. So your aim is to just mass units, try and raid, not lose any units, and then once Fox gets Heroic Age, he Ancestors Eclipses this base, or you cast Heimdall Undermine first, and then Ancestors Eclipse comes through. So that's an option there. So players going to have to be aware that it's a possibility. Save his Sentinels and cast them on top of Gold Lion if it comes. And on top of that, he's going to have to be able to help out with the units or something like that. So that's a thing as well. But Temple's coming up now for Fox, and a Temple in the base for Shelty here. So it's going to be a very standard Odin build. It looks like nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. A big way that it seemed like Norse players were winning in these tournaments was simply through a really strong Ragnarok. So I feel like playing safe is kind of an option that is really strong, because you get a lot of extra time in these games. Look at all these pigs that EmberSpirit has, or Shelty has here. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyways. Yeah, Joe, send that one through when you have some time. So let's got the Iron Boar in the middle of the map here. Well, that's a good relic. That's a really good one for Odin to pick up. We've got the Odin's Wand here. Kopesh of Horus, 100% bonus damage first move. It's fairly decent to pick up. Grognir Odin's Spear is the Hoplite and Spearman, and Ulfsark and Mermillo. Hey, Explode Noxious. These are recorded games, so I'm casting them live, but they were played yesterday. Hardest Folio over here, and also the mythical horseshoes plus the cavalry, the Tusk of the Iron Boar is actually kind of huge. If you can get both of those relics, you can be in a really good spot. And we do see the player automatically sending his Ajax over to harass EmberSpirit here He has got Hunt in the back, and the Ajax going to have to be scouting around a little bit. This gold mine is protected by the town center, so you just kind of have to hit Alt-S and let the town center shoot the Ajax down. There's no real way for him to stop this one. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully they spotted this relic here. Wait, where'd it go? This relic here. And they'll pick it up. We just see a second town center instantly for Fox. No real surprises there. Double longhouse for Shelty. And Gold Lion sitting one town center going double military barracks and a counter barracks here. I'm not sure that Gaia can sustain that level of production. So I think the early second barracks is just for Gold Lion to build a couple of Terma and then transition into double military barracks shenanigans here. Either that or player is going for an all-in, or Rusty F2, Team Rusty F2 is going to go for an all-in and cut villages, which is an option, but it looks like he's building from 2 and he's still managing to get some of that population coming down. This doesn't work here, does it? We're in the wrong mode. Okay. Actually, I take it all back. I want to go over here. Thanks, Joe. And here we go. We'll see if Gold Lion can make anything happen. He is spamming the units out, and that's a thing. But it's looking like Gold Lion's actually able to continue production here. Pretty well. He's got 5 citizen on food, so totally fine there. Fox has been able to do whatever he wants right now, and meanwhile, Shelty's being preoccupied by a Minotaur with some nice micro from Shelty, pulling away from that Minotaur without losing any Olfsuck there. House coming up for Shelty. And he can chase away the Minotaur as he can go. Should be able to pick that one off. It's going to have to run around, but I think maybe the speed of the Minotaur is slightly more, 420 versus 420. So it's exactly the same speed, so they're never going to catch up to each other if the Minotaur just runs around and runs out. That's the idea there. You see a villager getting picked off though for player as he's running away the Hippocon as well. Nice pick off, and almost losing 2 Hippocon. Is it worth the HP loss there? And then also going to be losing the other Hippocon, and we do see medium Ulfsar comes in for Shelty there, and Fox is just happily booming away. And this is something you really don't want to be doing. If you can, if a ISIS player has got access to all this hunt and everything else, and you don't fully damage the Norse player, then you're going to be in a real rough spot, because Fox is not a slouch, and he's going to be able to push into player's base really heavily. And now we see EmberSpirit making his way over here. We do have an automaton here. Need to get those Ursa to be attacking it, because otherwise he does a lot of damage. I mean, it's only 11 damage per second, but it's kind of huge when he has all that armor. Restoration coming down for player, and this all-in is on its way. He's going for this gold mine, and Shelty is forced back, sitting at 51 population to Gold Line's 92. That's a gigantic difference there in terms of population. So we'll see. The units moving in though, looking like these gold villagers, the dwarves having to come away. I'm not going to be able to pick off any of these. At least he shouldn't. They should be able to garrison into the town center there. And the unfortunately the Mermilla getting focused down. Nice job by Shelty to do that one. But now he's moved on over to the automaton. It's going to be really easy to tank all of the damage here. Watchtowers does come up, and I feel like Nephthys may have to be used here for Fox. May have to use his Ancestors Eclipse on top of these units just to give him a little bit of breathing room, or at least go for some sort of huge push into player's base and go for maybe like a base race. But he is sending priest. He's got the spearman over here. Should be able to pick off at least pick off players' units here. You see the Minotaur getting off his special, picking off one of those spearmen instantly, and Gold Lion is all over Shelty right now with this gigantic Gaia army. A really nice strategy here from Gold Lion. And it's looking like EmberSpirit's really got no response for this. The question right now is, how can they proceed? Can you go for this town center takedown when EmberSpirit's got nothing left in his army here? He's still trying to build units, but he's got nothing left here. So we'll see. He's moving around. He's just going for the watchtowers. He needs to pick those off before he goes. Actually, he doesn't even need to. I think with 18 Murmillo, you could probably take this town center down. No problem, especially with the Minotaur to help out. And also those Hippocon with Ajax. Just click on here. But looking like Fox is coming in. He's got the Scorpion Man now. There is a Sphinx. And it's a little bit too late to be going for that town center now. Because Fox is here. At the very best, what you're looking at here is Ancestors Eclipse and Team Rusty F2 having to retreat, but looking like Fox is going to be able to do that without the Ancestors, and Gold Lion's going to have to chill a little bit. He's going to be able to pick off one of these Spearmen, and then everything else. It's just the units are flooding in for Gold Lion right now, and he's making some really efficient trades with his units. So really nice job from him right now. And player's also gone 2 town centers, so he's going to start getting that economy pumping in. And Shelty just falling super far behind right now. I actually kind of think it's almost worth it to not be building these Terma anymore. And he's still building them. He's throwing down an armory. Looking to go to the Heroic Age. Has his own second town center coming up. So Rusty F2 going to have a lot of advantage here. But the double heroes, you need to get the Ajax and the Chiron in to help pick off the Scorpion Man, because Gaia does struggle against these myth units. That's some Valkyrie out, Sphinx, Scorpion Man. It's a lot of stuff there. And it's looking like Gold Lion and player looking to retreat right now. Now, the big thing that I think I've noticed Atlantean players doing incorrectly when they do these full pop second town center, third town center things is they keep building units. So they're already over militarized here with this many units, which means that he's going to be sitting at 99% on these citizens here and not getting further ahead on the economy. It's totally fine to sit 115 pop and spend the next 15 pop on 5 citizen instead of pumping out more military, or at least trying to trade your military in and making good trades. But it's looking like Gold Lion separating his army and getting a little bit caught out there. And also for some reason, player is falling a little bit behind. He's getting Aphrodite though, so that's going to really help out with a push. And it's probably going to be used on top of Shelty's units as well, because they're kind of low HP. You get a little bit more value out of that. But EmberSpirit using the Forest, Shelty using the Forest Fire there. The army is way too small. There's just a gigantic amount of Atlantean units here. But Gold Lion running into that forest fire, taking a lot of damage on those Murmillo there. He's just having to run away. And it's looking like player is getting caught out as well as he's trying to fight with a couple of those Hippocon. Aphrodite comes in, maybe having to use that curse straight away, which he does do on top of that army. And Gold Lion should be moving in and trying to fight right now. He should be able to win this army here if he has some heroes. He's got so many units here, but it's looking like Gold Lion gonna have to retreat at this point, because Fox and Shelty are a scary sight indeed. And we probably we don't have a Heroic Age coming in for Gold Lion, which is a bit of a surprise. I would have thought maybe going for the Trader God Power in order to grab one of these Shield Maiden Valkyries for yourself wouldn't be a bad idea, but not happening. And Shelty going to be able to stabilize him a little bit as he's lost so many gold villagers up here. Where'd they... I don't see all the dead bodies. He picked off an ox cart and 1 dwarf, so maybe it wasn't as big as it seems, but I feel like Shelty really hurting right now. But its army is starting to get a little bit scary compared to what Gold Lion has, and because Gold Lion's not going for the Heroic Age, he's not going to have access to the Arcus that he needs to pick off this army here, at least for another couple of minutes. But the Terma are going to be attacking, doing their thing. Still no Heroic Age for Gold Lion, but player here with the Hippocon. Nice raids from Fox. He's got a couple of siege towers out as well. And there still is the usage of Ancestors Eclipse here, but holding on to it maybe a little bit too long. Could be time to just throw it down and just go for the base of Gold Lion here with those 2 siege towers. It's a bit of a far move, but heavy spearmen coming in right now for Fox. So this is going to be turning the tides quite drastically as Gold Lion's army is completely turning on its head. And you can see he's got a lot of resources in the bank. He's trying to keep building these units out, trying to make the Terma and the Murmillo, but it's just not happening fast enough. And now Fox and Shelty have still got a bunch of units left. Player looking for some raids yet again onto Shelty's economy here, but I don't think they care. They're just going to be going for Gold Lion, 2 Siege Towers, a bunch of Shield Maiden Valkyries. There is an Achilles here, though, to help out against those Myth units, but when Answer's Eclipse comes down, turns from 4 Myth units into like, I don't know, 15 or something crazy. The Spearmen are jumping on top of these units as well, which is going to allow the Answer's Eclipse to do even more damage because they're going to all get picked off. Ajax instantly get picked off there. Achilles not being microed at all. Sentinels coming down in the base of Gold Line, but he only gets 3 of them. Doesn't get the 4th one because the military barracks was defending that. I believe you can rotate the Sentinels around, and you could have maybe got it so that there was a Sentinel that spawned here, but that's a little bit... you need to edit your commands to be able to do that one, I think. Tell me I could be wrong in the chat about that one. And Fox moving back, moving forward, doing all the stuff. But, 4 Siege Towers now. It's time to go. It's time to push the trigger. Gold Line's going. Terma only here. And it says there's Eclipse being used over there. Oh, there's so many villages here. There's 14 villages, and there's no heroes over here. So every single one of these villages should get picked off because these ancestors are so fast. They've got a speed of 6.00 when Eclipse is down, and then beyond that they get the double attack, or it's actually only 33% attack bonus, so they're really doing damage, and every single one of the 2 villages are going to escape, maybe 2 villages. I don't know for the sentry tower for some reason. Nope, gets another one there, and these ones in the back are going to be falling as well, as they're still not going to the town center. And now the Ancestor Eclipse isn't even over just yet. You can now start searching around for villages in the base of player, and meanwhile the Eclipse is not only helping those ancestors, it's also helping out the Scorpion, who's now doing 37.5 damage a second. The Siege Tower is now coming in onto this town center. Player does hit the Mythic Age through Artemis, but what's he going to use it on? There's not a lot you can probably use it on Shelty, but it's not going to slow him down that much because I doubt he's going to the Heroic Age. And now this town center is going to be falling. The Citizen of Gold Line going to be falling. And remember, he is already behind on Citizen because he did not cut army to build Citizen when he was at 115 population, 130 population. So losing those 4 citizens is absolutely huge. We do see the Earthquake goes down onto Shelty's base over here, and he picks off so much stuff. A couple of villages there as well. But only else picks off 4 houses, so Shelty's going to be struggling a little bit to get the economy going again. But Gold Lion is absolutely in crumbles right now. He's got 1 town center left. He's got basically 0 military, or 2 military buildings left, and there's only Terma popping out. And when you've got 5 Shield Men and Valkyries here, and so many Siege Towers in combination with those heavy Spearmen, heavy Chariot Archers, is going to be a really difficult time for Gold Lion to defend this one. And player just does not have the army right now to help out over here either. But the Valkyries moving in, the throwing axe are going to be losing their lives. Kind of have to micro these a bit funny, like you grab 5 and you attack 1 throwing axe, you grab another 5 and attack a different throwing axe, and that way you can one-hit those because these tend to do a lot of damage. So they do overkill, so you don't want to have that happen. It's a little bit difficult to manage there. Oh, temple's falling. It's the last counter barracks falling. These military barracks falling before they really can produce too many Murmillo here. One does get up. Some heavy Hippocon are coming into this fight right now, but there's also Gold Line losing villagers over here on this gold mine as well, as they're trying to make a run for the mana, but he's going to lose an extra 2 of them. If not the next one, he should get that one into the mana there. Thea does come through for Gold Line, but what's he going to do? Make Dryads? He's got no military buildings. He's making a temple there, trying to get that one out for the Stymphalian birds, but it's still not going to help at all when it comes out because there's just so many throwing action. I'm sure Shelty will start researching upgrades when he can. The settlement's not being built yet though. There's a Chimera that comes in and just prevents that one. So nice play there from player. So if he can continue here and get a little bit of that late game Greek out of controlness, catch up to the ISIS player, he may be able to do this, but he did have to go through Artemis when he wants to go through Hephaestus in order to fight against the Egyptian late game. but it's not going to happen. And Gold Lion does decide to tap out there. Player will soon to follow after. GG, well played by Fox and EmberSpirit or Shelty. Really nice play there by those guys. So GG and happy days. Well played. We'll move on to game number 2 really shortly. I think that I think this game was really close, but Gold Lion didn't do enough damage with his over military. They needed to go for the town center. I feel like if they went for the town center as a pair, save their restoration, or maybe they used the restoration fine, but immediately went for the town center before Fox could come in and hurt and make a difference. Maybe force the Answers Eclipse there. Could have been a whole different story. And I think that there may have needed to be some automatons being built. Such strong units. It's basically like a Prometheus, except instead of moving into 2 Prometheus little ones, you can rebuild them. So the idea is if you win a fight, you can rebuild the automaton. But GG. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. We get next game going real soon.